Welcome to Samuelsdottir channel. Kevin Samuels was truly a truth seeker, and after many years of educating both men and women of all races, but particularly those of African descent, in the art of navigating the ever-complex dating world, he was sadly ripped from our lives as he was called back home to the Almighty in 2022. Some of us, myself included, instinctively recognized the truth of his message. Many found his message rather unpalatable. I am hoping with this channel to make his message that little bit more digestible in a more feminine and softer manner. I hope this helps my sisters in the Black community who saw him as an enemy. Being Black myself, I hope I can bridge that gap. And oh, by the way, my father was also called Samuel, so in a twist of fate, I pay tribute with this channel to my father, who is also where Kevin has gone. I love how the Icelandic have a way of acknowledging someone's daughter in the same way as someone's son. So I appropriate the Icelandic way to find a suitable name for my channel, Samuelsdottir, Samuel's daughter. Enjoy the video.
I am single.
Any children? All right. So what kind of relationship are you looking for, if any?
Yeah. I'm not looking for a relationship right now.
You're 34, 35?
I'm 35, basically.
Okay. So when you're 55 years old, what do you want your social life to look like?
Well, at 55, I believe I'll be married for sure. So right now, I don't want a relationship.
Were your parents married?
Are my parents married?
Were they married?
Oh, yeah, they're married. They've been married for like 45 years.
And so how you plan on getting married?
Well, I'm going to get back in dating soon. Currently, I'm not like wanting to be in a relationship right now. I just feel like I need to focus on myself. So I got on the topic because you were saying like women doing self-love and self-care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nervous.
That's okay.
Being, like, selfish, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I am selfish right now.
It is selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, it's selfish in the sense that you have a child.
Yeah.
And life is about more than just self. That's what it comes. I mean, life is about people, and all this self. See, what women tend to not focus on is it's not just like a switch you can turn on and off.
I feel like I do that, though.
Well, but no, you don't. Well, see, here's what it is right now. You don't know because you're not out there. But let's say, just like so many women were told, there's so many women were told to go to college, get a degree, and then when you get ready to have a relationship, go find a man. That ain't working because it's not that simple.
For me like that, and I did go to college, and I did get my master's. And
of course, but all the stuff you got your master's for is what? What did you do all that for?
Well, I went to school, so that
All right.
and know what's going on.
Okay, that's fine. You could be educated and know what's going on out here.
Yeah.
But what was the end goal of getting all that education?
Absolutely nothing. I'm not doing anything in my degree. I mean, I have my MBA, so yes, I am in business. Like I do business things, but I'm like not excelling in this field. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like my degree was like.
So so the way men listen, the way men hear that. Hold on. The way men hear that is it was a waste of time.
It's a possibility, but it wasn't really like taking up all my time when I was.
Okay. Oh, it's still. You ladies, y'all don't understand how we look at things, and this is why when I tell you. You say, I want to be married by 55. Okay.
I feel like I will be married by 55. But
you can't even let me finish the conversation. That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. You ain't going to be married by 55. There's a dog and a tombstone in your future.
what? Oh, I don't like dogs. I
Well, buy a cat, man, because a man damn sure ain't in it, man. Because I want you to understand. I want you to understand that you can be right, but I'm gonna tell you, I talk to women every night, and I'm saying that I know the men that you ladies are going to have to deal with. And they look at women who go to school to get their masters, and all men are saying is, you know, when women say you need a man on your level, gentlemen, start asking them what their net worth is.
Who does that?
Trust me, plenty of women do that. Plenty of women do it. Maybe not you, eat the meats without the bones. It doesn't matter if it's not you. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, ma'am, what makes you so confident that when you decide you're ready for a relationship, that you're going to, how long do you think it'll take you to find a husband when you decide you're ready?
Well, I would say I feel like it's a 5-year process at least. Like, it should be within 5 years.
Within 5 years of meeting somebody?
No, I'm just saying to actually, I mean, based on the relationship, you just never know. But I'm saying for sure, like a guarantee, I say it would be at least 5 years to at least say, I found this guy. We've been knowing each other this 5 years, and we could get married between this time.
So it's going to take at least 5 years after you find somebody.
Not find somebody, actually get married.
Right.
I feel like I can find somebody. I feel like I can find somebody.
So if you found somebody, so listen what I'm asking. I'm sure I'm hearing what you're hearing. Let's just say today, for sake of argument, okay? Let's just say today, for the sake of argument. Let's just say today you were ready to be in a relationship. And if you found somebody tomorrow, how long do you think it would take you before you were married to the person you're ready to be with and you found them tomorrow?
I would say to be married for 5 years.
All right. So this is why you won't be married. Because number one, ain't no man worth marrying gonna wait no damn 5 years to marry no older woman. Number one, ma'am. 5 years is ridiculously long time to be dealing with somebody and not married. See, this is why I want you to, and this is this self-love stuff, because self-love puts you ladies in what I call your queen energy, where y'all don't take in new information. Y'all think y'all know everything. And what you can make is debt and babies. But you can't make relationships and marriages. You can't make families. You can't make communities. Y'all can make talking points and memes. So 5 years, you're 35, and you say, I'll be married by 55. It's going to take you 5 years from the day you meet a person that is ready to be married. Why does it need to be 5 years if you're ready to be?
It could be, honestly, it could be anything. There's so many possibilities.
See, thank you. You can't make it up. There's so many possibilities. It's infinite. We're all special snowflakes, guys. This is why I tell women, why do you know? Because I listen. Yellow, it's the same pattern. It's the same pattern. It's just stuck in a loop. The possibilities are infinite. It's always possible. My truth, my this, my that. You can't define me. I know what I'm manifesting. It's just gobbledygook. It's voodoo. It's the same shit, different woman. It'll work in 5 years. So you'll have so your kid will be 5. Somebody's going to marry a single mother and wait 5 years. Will they get any more kids?
I wouldn't mind having a son, but it just depends on the time and my age as well.
Do you want to have the child before or after marriage?
Honestly, it just depends on the person I'm with and the relationship that we have.
Okay, let me ask a really serious question, okay? Do you feel like women should have a level of seriousness, structure, foresight, and planning in how they live their life?
Yes.
At what age do you think that should start?
Where they're actually knowing where they're going and knowing what they want to do.
At what age do you think that should start?
I did promise a commenter that I wouldn't interrupt the video till the very end, but I'm really sorry. I have to comment here. This is so dumb. Now, sometimes I go on interesting websites or YouTube channels where relationships are being discussed, and I almost always resent when, and it's usually a man who says, but women are so stupid, women are so dumb. And I think, what are you talking about? Here is a good example of what they are talking about. For someone to have to ask anyone, do you think a person, in this case a woman, should have a certain amount of seriousness to their own life? And at what age do you think this should happen? Basically, we are asking, are women supposed to be adults like men are? I mean, what a ridiculous notion. But you see how Mr. Samuels is forced to ask this question because she is just so childish. That's tragic. And we already know where this conversation is going to end. I better stop the video here. No, just kidding. So anyway, let's keep watching. But I just find this so tragic. And I hope that any young ladies watching this can see that this is exactly what we are all complaining about, both men in general and reasonably minded women, of which there are many, thank God. This kind of attitude is what is letting the team down. She just sounds so stupid. I'm sorry to say this. She's my sister. But this level of unintelligence translates into no one wants you, ma'am. We need to up the intelligence a little bit. Okay, let's carry on if we really want to.
I feel like you should definitely be doing that by 25 or 27.
Have you started that?
As far as like relationship, no.
Okay, that's what I meant. Man, when I said all that stuff, that meant that's what I said. That's all that's in relationships.
Oh, okay. Right now,
No. So you're 35. You haven't put any structure, foresight, planning, or when do you plan on starting?
Yeah.
So I want folks to understand why I don't tend to date women over 35. And I'll tell you why. It's because it doesn't mean you're bad people. It's just, you're either too out there, you resist structure planning, it's just go with the flow. And what it really comes down to, a lot of you ladies are driven by fear. Because if you really trusted something was going to work and be good for you, you wouldn't wait 5 years to do it.
This is a fact. Honestly, if something outstanding happened in my life and it happened, I would definitely jump on board and all the rules would be gone.
Well, that's what I wanted you guys. That's why I played the Diane Carroll video. It is up to you, not up to somebody to fix that. That's why Diane Carroll was so important to lead out. Remember, 4 marriages? And she said, the reason I have to get comfortable living alone at this age is because I'm difficult. I'm difficult to live with because I'm a difficult person. You didn't see the video. And she said basically, you know what? It's me to make myself happy, not somebody else. So, man, but all this stuff you talked about right now, 35, marriage by 55, it's a nice, it's a dream.
But what if I get married at 40?
See, I want you to understand, this may sting a little bit, man, but a 35-year-old woman, y'all sound like 14-year-olds. But what if you're almost 40, you're closer to 40 than you are to 30. And y'all talk like y'all are young girls. You're somebody's whole mother. What if I get married by 40? My daughter, when she was in high school, they talk like that.
But I feel like, okay, I feel you.
And you have a son?
No, I don't. I have a daughter. She's 4.
Okay. When your daughter, what are you going to teach your daughter a man's purpose in her life is?
I would say
What are you going to teach your daughter her purpose in a man's life is?
To be loving and nurturing and building a family.
How are you going to demonstrate both of these things to your daughter?
That's what I'm going to work on. I just haven't put too much effort in it.
At what age do you think your daughter starts looking for these things?
Oh, I feel like it would be happening, honestly, right now even.
Right. So if that's the case, listen, ma'am, that's why I said this self-love is so selfish, because your daughter's looking for the things you said you're going to teach her right now. But you ain't the least bit worried about them right now. So that means you can't teach her. You can't demonstrate it because you're worried about yourself. You focused on yourself. So by extension, you're not teaching your daughter what her purpose is in a man's life and a man's purpose is in her life. See how that works? So when I said self-love is not good for the kid,
It's selfish. Yeah.
because you have a whole child. All right, well, hope this helped to the audience. I appreciate it. Have a good one. So, and see, the thing is, I'm not supposed to say that, but it's like, when do y'all start worrying about anybody? It's like me. That's the me's are out here strong. Me, I. And that doesn't mean that you don't have a life. But what it's supposed to mean is you're supposed to have a kid with your husband. So that means, hello.
How you doing?
Now, this video is actually an introduction to a topic I wanted to broach. Someone, a commenter named Avidat, something like that, Avidat, asked me in a previous video, can you advise me on how to impress the one I love? That was the question. Now, I've thought about this question for weeks, literally weeks. I got this question well before Christmas. I just didn't know how to answer it. And the reason is, I think it's a much more complex question than it originally seems. And I really took my time to study it from all angles before presenting it on today's video. Now, this video is a nice introduction to the question, because if you notice, this woman is not at all interested in impressing anyone, not least the man that she might end up with. This is the complete opposite of the mindset of the person who asked this question. Now, I believe Avidat is probably a man. And this saddens me in many ways, but particularly because I think this is very much a kind of a snapshot of the dating market. I think that at least in our modern time, a lot more men are interested in impressing women than the other way around. The women of today, I'm very sad to say, are actually openly contemptuous of men. We, if I include myself, although I don't think I'm in this group, to be fair to myself, I'm talking here on this video, on this channel, about these kinds of topics, but I would like to say I distance myself. This is the truth. I really don't have this level of contempt for men. Maybe a little bit, which is obviously wrong, false idea, but it's probably, the background upbringing we all have. We all hear some bad things, growing up. We have to actively dismiss them. I really I'm not, otherwise I wouldn't be doing these videos, right? It wouldn't be congruous with my ideas about the whole dating market. Now, the contempt is ingrained, whatever you'd like to call it, maybe even intrinsic. We are born with it. Anyway, I laugh, but it's not funny, right? I would like to do a video entitled, and I will actually, this is a clue for any people who are interested in any future videos I might produce. I will make a video entitled, Do You See Him as Human? And I think I'll probably do a little bit of market research on this. I shall find a way to ask many women, you know that man over there? Maybe even have a man that they can see, an ordinary man, average man, and ask them, how do you see this man? Do you see him as human? Because the way that many women treat men these days are almost as though he's less than human, right? We have many examples of this, even in the celebrity world. I'm not going to go too far on this topic. Let's just say a certain British prince, let's leave it there before I get into trouble. So to get back on track, this person, I assume it's a man for many reasons, is asking, how do I impress the person I love? And my immediate response was, but this is even the wrong question to ask. You know why? There are two levels why it's wrong. The first one is, and I shall demonstrate this by saying how very impressed, there's the word again, I was when at a wedding, the bride was told by one of her entourage, somebody who loved her, who really meant the good in the world for her. I don't know if any of you speak Italian. In Italian, when you want to say, I love you, you say, I wish you well. Ti amo bene. I wish good for you. Now, I think this is a brilliant way to express love. Somebody who wished the bride well said to her, begin as you intend to finish. Begin as you intend to finish. That's it. And hearing this, I thought, oh, what does that mean? It took me quite a few weeks. I'm very slow, you see. It took me a while to understand what it meant. What it meant was be genuine, be sincere, be authentic. Now, in general, I hate that word authentic because I think it's overused. But in this context, I think it's very apt. Be who you are. So in many ways, it is the antithesis of what Mr. or Ms., most likely Mr. Avidat is asking. It's the opposite. You shouldn't want to impress anybody. You should be who you are. You should begin as you mean to finish. You shouldn't change. The problem with a lot of failing marriages today is that people suddenly change. What the other person didn't see coming was the true self of their spouse that they didn't see in the beginning because the other person was busy hiding behind a screen. Whether it's physically, so, many women wear makeup, for example, and suddenly the man discovers the true face. Probably one morning. It must be painful. Anyway, just to drive home the point, be genuine, be your true self. So that's one level why I think the question is a wrong one. The other level why the question is wrong is, why is it necessary to impress anyone? Why? Isn't the you that you are good enough? If it isn't, and it could be you really think it's not good enough, that's fair enough. If it isn't, then you should improve that self of yours so that it is good enough to meet with the person you want to be with. It's not a question of impressing someone. That implies a level of deception. Let me show a face which is not really mine, just for the purposes of acquiring that person's interest, that person's love, that person's heart. That's wrong and deceptive and disingenuous. So I understand if the true meaning behind the question is, how can I up my game? And therefore I stay there in the upped game. I stay at that level for the duration of my encounter with that person that I want to impress, that I want to be with. That's a more sincere question to ask, because the intention is and involves a level of effort on one's part which is true, which is genuine, which is sincere. I want to improve myself that I can meet at eye level with the other person. And that's not being impressive to the other person. That's not impressing the other person at all. It is improving yourself in the belief that you are now level with somebody who obviously you already see at a higher level than yourself, which is why you want to impress them in the first place. Those are my thoughts on this question. So if you are listening, Mr. Avidat, this is my thought on the question. You don't need to impress anyone, because you should be at the level where you want to be in order to start a relationship with somebody else. If your level is not good, then you need to improve it all by yourself before you begin a relationship with that person, and not to, somehow disguise yourself, not to kind of imitate somebody else or play it the deceptive way by mimicking or just simulating little tips and tricks to enter into a kind of false encounter with that person, because eventually the truth will come out and then your antics would be laid bare, and that would be tragic for both you and the other person involved. And it may lead, of course, to a separation, because there you are exposed at your lower level, and that person will then see you for who you really are and most likely decide to walk away from you. So there is no desirability here in mimicking anything. Impressing someone, I think, is of no value to you. What you should be doing is improving yourself to the level you want to be. I hope that was helpful. I'm pretty saddened by the level of stupidity demonstrated in this video. Actually, I've seen a lot of these, but this is one of the worst ones. I think that we as a group really need to up our game. We need to present ourselves much, much better. We need to improve ourselves much, much better. And I think the majority of us are actually not ready for relationships. Sad that someone at 35 with already a child, not mature enough. But anyway, hey, I guess it's never too late. There is always hope for all of us, for everyone. I wish everyone well who's listening to this video. Peace, grace, and harmony be unto you and your family and your friends and your neighbors. Catch you in the next video.